All right, friends, thank you for joining us here on ABC 24 Plus. We're also on Facebook and YouTube. I'm meteorologist Trevor Birchett. We are live right now, coming up on 10 o'clock with an update on the severe weather threat that we're facing a little bit later this afternoon and into this evening, and especially tonight. I do have your Facebook comments pulled up. So if you're watching on Facebook, if you want to let me know where you're watching from, or if you have any questions about the weather, feel free to let us know. I'd be happy to get to those here in just a little bit. But I do want to kind of talk about what's going on as we go later on into today and especially into tonight. That's when we're really going to be watching for what seems to me like the highest potential of some showers and thunderstorms that could actually turn severe. So let me talk about what's actually happening right now. And the answer is really not a whole lot. The radar is pretty much clear. We did have some showers, even some thunderstorms early this morning, but as expected, those have kind of fizzled out. So we're not seeing anything on the radar right now. As a matter of fact, as you just saw on that Appling camera at I-40 in Appling, it's completely sunny outside. Now, what you would normally think is, oh, what a lovely day it is. Well, the thing is, when you have this much sunshine on a severe weather day, this actually just adds more energy for the storms to use a little bit later on this evening. So even though it looks pretty outside right now, that's just adding more energy and more fuel for those thunderstorms to use later on tonight. As a matter of fact, I can show you how much fuel we are dealing with right now. I want to show you your storm energy, and it is lit up like a Christmas tree. Unfortunately, storm energy is high in the Mid-South and really across the Southeast. And this is even going to increase through the day. The more sunshine we get, the warmer the temperature goes, the more storm energy we're going to have, and the stronger those storms might be later on this afternoon and this evening. So again, that sunshine really not doing us any favors right now. That is why we have our severe weather outlook in place for Memphis right now. It is a level 3 out of 5. That's kind of a medium risk for severe weather. Just to our north, though, we have a level 4 out of 5. That's a slightly higher risk. That's that zone in red from southern Missouri, southern Illinois, western Kentucky, down into middle Tennessee toward Nashville. Now, with some of the latest data I'm looking at, I would not be surprised if they dropped that highest risk zone just a little bit, maybe a little closer to Interstate 40, because some of the latest data has changed our thinking in the forecast of what's going to be happening a little bit later today. And we're going to go over that right now. But I do want to zoom in and kind of show you what's happening closer to home. Again, right now, pretty much everybody is under a level 3 out of 5 medium risk for severe weather this afternoon and into this evening. Now, for many of us, a good chunk of the day is actually going to turn out dry. I think for the next few hours, we are going to be dry across the Mid-South. The problems are going to start later on this evening. So from now through, let's say 2 p.m., things are going to be dry. It'll be warm and muggy, getting up into the mid-80s this afternoon. Again, that's just adding more energy for the storms a little later. I'm going to watch carefully because some of the latest data has showed storms developing a little sooner. We've been talking about it looked like this was mainly going to be an overnight storm situation where storms would develop at 10 p.m. and then continue overnight. Some of the latest data I've been watching has sped up that process just a little bit. Just to give you an idea what I'm looking at here, this is our storm potential for this afternoon. There's a zone we're going to watch in western Tennessee, mainly north of Memphis. I'm looking at Dyersburg, Ripley, Covington, Brownsville, Bolivar, and Selmer up toward Jackson, Tennessee. In this zone, there are some indications that things could get going a little sooner than we had originally expected. And you see the time frame here, 3 p.m. As early as 3 p.m., because there's so much storm energy, we could have storms that start to develop in this zone between 3 p.m. and 10 p.m. I think the afternoon and evening round is mainly going to be limited to those areas in western Tennessee. Those storms will probably even stay north of Memphis. But if you are in that orange area, West Tennessee, storms could develop by 3 p.m. and they're possible overnight as well. But if we do get storms that start to develop 3, 4, 5, 6 p.m., if you check the radar and you're seeing storms by then, That's going to be a little more concerning for us because when you have the sun up in the middle of the day and you have storms fire up, they're going to have a lot more energy to deal with. Now, there's already a ton of storm energy in place, but if we can get storms to develop in this area this afternoon, they are going to mean business. They are going to be strong and they could be dangerous. Now, our thinking is still the same overnight tonight. I still expect a round of thunderstorms overnight tonight. That's going to affect everybody. So think of the afternoon and evening round, 3 p.m. to 10 p.m., there might be a storm if you live in West Tennessee. If one does pop up, it could be bad, but there's still a little bit of a question mark on that first round of storms. The overnight storms, that is almost a surefire bet. Everybody is going to see storms overnight tonight from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m., and within that window, those storms could really pack a punch. Damaging wind gusts, heavy rain, all possible. And just talk about some of those storm threats from this evening into tonight. Heavy rain and damaging wind gusts are the highest concerns. I'm really worried about damaging winds that could lead to tree damage and some power outages. It does not take much wind to take out power. So if we get a good 50-mile-an-hour wind gust, power is going to go out. And you see that is a high risk for that. If storms can get going early in West Tennessee, and if they can really get some intensity, a few of those storms could produce large hail, maybe a few tornadoes. Again, that's if those storms can get going early. We're still looking at the latest data on that. Some data keeps the storms at bay until 10 p.m. Some data has those storms developing a little bit sooner. But just to talk about what I mean by maybe a question mark on those afternoon storms, I want to walk you through the hour-by-hour forecast and just kind of show you what's going to happen. Now, notice through lunchtime, it's pretty dry. There might be a sprinkle or a shower, but you see the sunshine out right now. So for the next little bit, we are not going to be dealing with any major rain chances. What we are going to be looking at, though, by the afternoon, we are going to start to see the potential of some storms developing. Now, I chose one of the models that does pop up the storms this afternoon, just to give you an idea. But by 3 p.m., this particular weather model blows up storm cells in western Tennessee, from Covington to Ripley to Dyersburg. If the radar does look like this at 3 p.m., these storms are going to have the potential to be severe. That continues into this afternoon and evening as well, 5, 6 p.m. Notice how if these storms do pop up, they're mainly going to be north of Memphis and other parts of western Tennessee. But from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m., we're going to be watching that zone to see if those storms can get going. Again, if they do, they could really mean some business. Now, as we get closer to 10 o'clock, that's when everybody's going to start to see the storms. So up until this point, maybe a storm, maybe not. Now that we're past 10 o'clock, everybody's going to start to see that storm. We're going to have the line of storms roll on through the Mid-South, and this could also be on the stronger side. This is 1 a.m. This model brings storms into Memphis that would be producing damaging wind gusts and heavy rain. Can't completely rule out some hail or even a tornado in this batch. I do think once we get after sunset, the biggest concern is going to be the damaging winds and the heavy rain. But at any point tonight, we could have a quick spin-up tornado, and then that kind of moves down into North Mississippi by 2 or 3 a.m. That's when we're going to start to see those storms move out. And then really by 5 a.m. tomorrow, these storms are out of here. By the time many of us get up and get going, the storms will be done, and we're actually going to have sunshine through the day on Thursday. Going to be a beautiful day tomorrow. We got to get through this afternoon and this evening. So what do you need to do to plan for severe weather? Well, the best thing to do, be prepared, don't be scared. As long as you're prepared, as long as you know what's going on, and as long as you have a plan, there's no reason to be scared. Make sure you have a way to get your weather alerts. That's probably the most important thing, especially while you're sleeping. You want something that will wake you up in the middle of the night. If you need to know about a tornado, it's going to have to wake you up. Your Alexa can do that. If you have Alexa, you can tell her to turn on weather alerts. Your phone can be powered on. Make sure you leave the sound on. It'll make that buzzing noise. Or you can get a weather radio. What you don't want to rely on is a tornado siren to wake you up. Those are meant to be heard outside, so don't think you're going to hear the siren and wake up, because you might not. Know where your safe place is in your house. You might want to practice this with your family too, especially your young kids. If you do get that alert at 2 a.m., you don't need to be worrying about, well, what room do I need to go to? What place is best? Know where that safe place is ahead of time and practice it with your kids. And again, pretty much a surefire bet that we're going to see at least some power outages this afternoon. So go ahead and plan for that. That's probably going to be the best thing to do. Charge those cell phones, make sure everything is ready to go. But again, I just want to recap for you what's going on. If you're just now joining us, again, I have the Facebook comments up. So if you have any questions, let me know and I'll be sure to get to those. We're dry for a few hours, at least until 3 or 4 p.m. As we get into this afternoon, there is a zone that we're going to watch. Western Tennessee especially. I mean, I could really name off the counties. Dyer, Ripley into Lauderdale County, Tipton County, Fayette, Hardeman, McNary into Haywood County as well. It looks like really a lot of it's going to stay north of Memphis. But in the time frame from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m., we could have some storms that fire up a little early in this zone. If they do fire up, they could be strong to severe. Damaging winds, hail, tornadoes possible 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. in that time frame. It's not a surefire bet. Again, the models are back and forth on this time frame. Some models have us completely sunny until that overnight round of storms arrives. But I'd rather err on the side of caution and let you know that there's a possibility for these storms to pop up, because if they do pop up, they're going to be very strong through western Tennessee. So a question mark on the storms from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. But after 10 p.m., everybody's going to see the storms. That's a surefire bet. We're going to have a line of storms roll through the Mid-South overnight while you're sleeping. Damaging wind gusts, heavy rain, hail, maybe a tornado or two overnight. Now, if we can get those storms to pop up early in the afternoon, 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. in West Tennessee, that's going to be the highest tornado potential. If those storms can get going and they're those supercells that are out there by themselves, they could really pose a tornado threat in West Tennessee this afternoon. Overnight, though, as that line of storms roll through, the biggest concern will be the heavy rain and the damaging wind gusts. So charge your cell phones, have a flashlight nearby. Just be aware you do have the potential of power outages overnight. Don't use a generator in the house. I know that seems like a given, but I'd rather be safe than sorry and let you know. Keep your generators outside. Be careful with candles. Don't go to sleep with your candles on if you do have a power outage in your house. So that's kind of the latest update of what is going on. I do want to remind you, some of you might be watching on our ABC 24 app. I sent an alert out on our app a little bit ago. The same way you got that alert, you're going to get an alert anytime a severe weather warning is issued for your neighborhood. You can actually go in and set up your location in your neighborhood, and your location will be monitored, and we'll send you an alert if a bad storm is headed to your neighborhood. You're not going to get an alert for every single storm, just the storms that might impact you. You can also watch our live stream on our app. So if the power goes out, you have a tornado warning, you can watch our stream right on the app. It's a totally free download. It does not cost a penny. iPhone and Android app stores, just search ABC 24 and you can download that onto your device. If you're watching on your computer, maybe you're not holding your phone right now, we've also made it easy for you. You can text the word app, APP, to 901-321-7520. That number right there on your screen. Again, that's 901-321-7520. I want to let you know something else, too. If you're watching on Facebook, let me see if I maybe have this graphic. I might have it, I might not. But we actually have a Weather Watchers Facebook group now. If you are kind of a weather geek like we are, I invite you to join our ABC 24 Weather Watchers group. Just search ABC 24 Weather Watchers on Facebook. What that will allow you to do is to connect directly to us on Facebook. You can send in your weather photos, your weather videos, your reports to us. Obviously, we want you to do this safely, but once the storm passes, let's say you have a tree down in your front yard, you can snap a picture and send it to us right on Facebook. Again, just search ABC 24 Weather Watchers on Facebook. Same number, you can text your photos to us. 901-321-7520. If you have a report, you hear some hail outside, you can let us know and we can pass that along. But for right now, I think that's all the updates and information I have. Again, I'm going to leave the app up because that's the best way to stay informed, is to download this app, ABC 24, free download for iPhone and Android. We'll let you know if a bad storm is headed your way. You can also watch the live stream. But just stay weather aware for the next few hours going into this afternoon. If you live in West Tennessee especially, this afternoon you might have some storms pop up, and then everybody's going to see the strong to severe thunderstorms overnight tonight. If you do want to join us on TV, ABC 24 News Midday at 11 a.m. is coming up here in just about 50 minutes from now. You can also watch it live on our app or on our website, abc24.com. For now, I'm meteorologist Trevor Birchett. Have a good day.